Hello everyone and welcome to iReadit, bringing you your daily dose of the internet for Monday, September 11th, 2017. I am Michael Schwan.
And I'm Nathan Wood.
Please remember everyone that you can help support our show by going to patreon.com/dailyinternet. In addition, we do go live on Facebook Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. Alaska time. Nathan, how are you doing today?
I'm fucking sweaty and tired as shit.
Do you not have it? Well, never mind. That's a stupid question. I don't have AC in my house. My house never gets very warm.
I do not have an AC in my house. It's not just my house, though. It's like I was outside in a leather jacket because I wore that to work this morning, not knowing it was going to be, nice.
Sure.
On top of that, I had done nothing but run around the entire building today. I had to get more files from judges' chambers than from the actual file room.
Weird.
So I'm pretty dead.
Sure. Sounds
more
fun.
so than normal, which is weird because normally I'm all hyped for being more dead than normal.
Yeah. My day was not nearly as productive as I would have liked it to be.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. Maybe because it was Monday. Maybe because nobody besides me and one other person was in the office, so it was real hard to do work. I don't know. It just wasn't nearly as productive as it should have been.
Work is hard to do, especially on a Monday.
Some days, yeah, it's just real hard. You're like, my focus is everywhere but here.
If I could just not be here.
Literally everywhere but here. And then there's other days, though, where I'm at work and I'm like, yeah, do all the things.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely have those days, too.
Did you have a good weekend?
It was a pretty good weekend. I enjoyed it a lot.
I did, too. I had a great weekend. It was a good birthday weekend. Should we get started, though?
Mm-hmm.
Sick.
10.
Christopher Nolan on Dunkirk. Quote, there was no green screen.
This was submitted by Bunyip Pouch to Our Movies.
This is impressive, and I like that more and more people, directors, I guess, are trying to push for the practical effects rather than using so many computer-generated effects. If you haven't seen Dunkirk, it's a World War II epic that is in regards to the beaches of France when Allied forces were, swarming the beaches. And it's apparently a really good movie. I haven't seen it, but it's very gritty, authentic, and just a real hard film.
For the most part, authentic. I've heard one complaint about it.
Which was?
There wasn't any Indian people from India, because apparently that was a thing in the actual Dunkirk, is that they definitely had Indian people help out because it was still I think a British colony at that point.
Huh. I don't know. But I still mean to see it, but time and money and stuff are just not always there.
Mm-hmm. No, I understand. I too have been wanting to see that movie. Maybe not meaning to, but wanting to.
But it impresses me because Christopher Nolan in this article talks about what they had to do in order to shoot the film. They actually went to the actual beaches in France where this battle took place, and because the world is what it is, there are still landmines and explosive devices that are just on the shoreline and in the harbor. So every time they wanted to go somewhere or do one of their explosions, they had to do a controlled explosion first to see if it would blow anything else up and then go do the shoot.
Oh, that's fucking amazing. I really like practical effects, like a lot of the Lord of the Rings, not all of it, obviously, but a lot of the Lord of the Rings was practical effects.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, all of their armor was handmade, and it was all different.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is they didn't Photoshop or alter. What's his name? Not Daniel Radcliffe. Elijah Wood's height in that. They just used practical effects, put him farther back in the shop. It made it look like he was standing right next to him and shit.
Yeah,
it's a lot of cool shit.
I like the shot of the cart at the very beginning of the first one, where they're showing how they had to sit Ian McKellen next to Elijah Wood to get the
shot. Yeah, he's way far back.
Mm-hmm.
I really like practical effects. If I was a director, I would definitely be using practical effects way more than impractical effects.
And I think once you know things are practical effects, it can make a movie so much more impressive. Like Mad Max, the most recent one, is almost 100% practical effects. Really cool.
It's fucking. I really enjoy it. It just brings something to the movie, you know.
Right. I think I think even when you have really, really good CG, your brain still in some ways knows that it's not quite real.
Yeah, no, definitely. You have that tinge. You're like, I'm suspending enough disbelief, you know?
Although there are some things that it's just so good, though, that your brain just accepts it, like Tarkin from the most recent Star Wars.
Yeah, no, definitely. Or actually, a lot of the people in the most recent Star Wars that, well, not just Tarkin, like Leia, young Leia. Which is, you know, understandable because it's going to be kind of hard doing as much practical effects for Star Wars.
Well, yeah, but I mean, in that specific instance where it's a full person, it's not like, you know, a storm or an explosion or something. It was a person. And if you didn't know that that actor was dead and also had no possible way to look the same as he did 40 years ago if he wasn't dead, you would have thought he was just there.
Yeah, it's much different. Not much different, but it's actually, no, I feel like it's much different because, like, with Tarkin, you're like, yeah, no, that's a really good one. But when they did Jeff Bridges in Tron Legacy, it was just not anywhere near as good.
No, like I said, it needs to be a really good one. Otherwise, it just really takes it away.
It just falls flat, you know?
Anyway, but yeah. I look forward to see what else we're going to do in the world of movies.
Yeah, no, same here. I mean, especially me, because I really want to be in the world of movies.
Yeah, I have to work on that public speaking, Nathan.
No, I don't.
Give out those speeches.
I really don't have to.
Acceptance speeches for your Oscars.
I'm pretty sure I don't have to. There's been plenty of famous people who have stage fright who've been able to do stage stuff without looking at the stage.
Sure.
For instance, Lemmy Kilmister, incredibly huge stage fright, to the point where whenever he would sing, he would have his mic above him, so he would have to look up and sing into the mic so that he wouldn't see the crowd. Another one, Mitch Hedberg, always wore sunglasses and always kind of looking down. It wasn't because he was on drugs, kind of. It was because of stage fright.
Yeah. What's your plan?
My plan is to not be in a heavily populated area.
Oh, okay. Wow.
9.
American Apparel founder Dov Charney, quote, "Sleeping with people you work with is unavoidable."
This is submitted by a P. Bund to R. Not the Onion.
You know those moments when you read something, you're like, wait, what?
I've never slept with someone that I worked with.
Did you just say what I think you said? Because I'm pretty sure that was real wrong.
Damn shame, really. Anyways,
Dov Charney, who is actually the man who founded American Apparel, was recently fired from the company. And when I say recently, it was in 2014, after years and years of rumored sexual misconduct, none of which was ever proven or anything was brought against him. But they just voted him out of the company. Essentially, he was kicked out. He wasn't actually, you know, like nothing was brought against him, but they said, yeah, there's a little.
Oh, it was what happened in Iron Fist to Danny Rand. They were just like, yeah, you're not going to be in this. You're not going to be in this anymore.
Yeah. And so he got kicked out, and recently he just launched his new label called Los Angeles Apparel instead of American Apparel, and everything, it just looks like American Apparel with a different logo on it, but whatever. You know, I mean, if you know what you're doing, I mean, he built a very successful company, if you do it again. So this particular journalist went to interview him and talk about it, and for the first hour of the interview, they were walking around the factory and looking at everything, and like the dude was being real courteous and all this stuff, and she's like, I don't know if this is actually the dude that everyone said he was. And then they sat down for another section of the interview where they started talking about him getting kicked out of American Apparel, and then the journalist was like, oh, there it is,
Found it.
Because he once went on this angry, rage-filled tirade and then just started talking about the sexual conduct amongst the workplace. And she's like, well, are you sleeping with any of your employees right now? And he goes, that's a private matter. You don't need to worry about it. Including saying, what? Sleeping with people you work with is just unavoidable. It just happens.
That is absolutely not true.
Yeah, that is not true whatsoever, good sir.
I have
Bad
never
sir?
slept with
I don't
any
feel
of
like
my
I should call you good
coworkers.
sir, actually. I don't think you're
No.
good.
Yeah, it's definitely not good. I have never slept with any of my coworkers, actually. Not that I haven't tried.
Sorry, buddy.
I feel like it's mostly because I'm an ugly fuck. But beyond the point, you definitely don't have to sleep with your fucking coworkers.
No.
Just because you're around them so often doesn't mean you have to sleep with them. You're around your family so often, you don't sleep with your family, I hope.
You hope.
I mean, I'm not one for the Lannisters or the Targaryens, really.
He says cautiously.
Yeah. I
Like,
hope they're not.
I don't know. And he's like, what, you don't?
No.
David, no, I don't.
8,
The kangaroo population in Australia has gone from 7 million in 2007 to 50 million in 2017.
This was submitted by Oscan 531 to Our World News.
An increase of 700% plus a little bit. It has now gotten to the point where the Australian government is asking people, please eat more kangaroo and go hunt more kangaroos, because they're starting to cause a problem of that.
Dude, those guys are assholes. They go around choking things out.
They do.
Or punching them, or kicking them, rather.
They're rather aggressive creatures, and with such a large number of them, they're spreading to so many places that their aggressive nature is starting to be a problem.
Giant fucking rats, I tell you.
Kinda, yeah. But, so, that's not something that you ever, like, foresee being, like, an issue. It's like, oh, we have a kangaroo infestation.
Yeah.
What? That creature's bigger than people sometimes. Yeah, they're everywhere, man.
They're technically rodents. I mean, if you could have a possum infestation, you can have a fucking kangaroo infestation.
Right. Well, and I mean, kangaroos are even worse. I mean, because the females have multiple vaginas, each that can hold a baby.
Hold up. Rewind. Say that one more time.
You heard me correctly.
No, that's not what I told you to do.
They have multiple vaginas?
What the fuck?
Yep. Well, I mean, some of the males have multiple penises.
What?
Mm-hmm. And here's what makes it even worse, is that they can be pregnant, and then while they're pregnant in one of their other ovaries, they can get pregnant again because they have multiple slots.
What?
And birth out of one while pregnant with the other, and then fill that one back up. They can just be perpetually pregnant and never stop.
No!
Yes.
No!
Yes.
That is so scary!
It is. And it's also why, like rodents, they can just be like, pop, 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 pop.
It's like fucking popcorn!
Mm-hmm. And that's also how they managed to go, increase their numbers by, 43 million in 10 years.
Insane.
Yeah. Pretty crazy, but it's becoming a problem.
Plus side, kangaroo burgers might be a thing.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what kangaroo tastes like. They're so muscly, though, that I'm not sure if it would be good.
I don't know either, but, I'm down to try it. Sounds fun.
I mean, because most kangaroos are just a ton of muscle.
Yeah, no, if someone gets me, like, a kangaroo steak or, like, some flank of kangaroo, I would be super fucking happy. Because I think that would be... I mean, I've tried horse, and I thought horse was delicious.
Horse was really delicious. Yeah, I can attest to that.
So, like, I've also tried shark and cactus and alligator, so I don't see why kangaroo would be much different.
I don't know. Well,
I like eating all kinds of animals.
Maybe
Specifically mammals.
Maybe that'll be one of Australia's new exports is kangaroo.
Oh, that would be super cool.
Just start exporting it. It'd be like, all right.
I would make kangaroo hot dogs. They still really want to do that hot dog business.
Do it, son.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
7,
Florida Attorney General who killed Trump University investigation gets Trump admin job.
This was submitted by Phoenix 200 to Our Politics.
Hey, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Hey, surprise, surprise. People are buying their positions.
Yep, Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi is set to start a new job at Donald Trump's Commission on Combating Drug Addiction and the Opioid Crisis. She was originally actually put into the position back in January, formally appointed in March, but after a lot of lengthy delays, she will now actually be assuming her duties. Most people are looking at this sketchingly because last year during the presidential election, she received, there was a lot of scrutiny because she received a $25,000 payment in 2013. And then what was it? It was like 2 weeks after that, dropped the investigation into Trump University.
Wow. That's dildos.
Yeah. So it's real sketch. Real sketch.
Everything about this administration's real fucking sketch.
Right? Like, just 100% sketch.
Like, it's like, oh, hey, we won presidency. We did a lot of fucked up shit, so, like...
Can you just
we
not
should
look
be
at
quiet
that?
about it. Let's be really quiet, Trump. Let's do this. And the entire time, Trump's like, yeah, I'll be quiet.
Well, I can't hear you over all the tweets I'm sending.
Check out this loud.
Dude, I have to tweet this out. I'll get so many likes. They love me. They really love me. No, we don't. People just think you're a disgrace.
I mean, I guess there are people that love you, but they're so lost.
6.
McCarthy wins Emmy for Spicer impersonation.
Submitted by Simulation Me to our television.
Speaking of the administration and how people can profit from it, Melissa McCarthy brought home an Emmy this weekend for her memorable impersonation of the then White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer.
I felt bad for Spicer. Wait. Yes, Spicer's the one I felt bad for.
He was the one that
I
was
felt like he just kept getting shit on when it came to things.
I mean, he already was the press secretary, and then Trump came in and was like, all right, well, I'm going to do this, and you get to try and clean up. And he's like, that's real hard.
He's like, I don't want to.
You're going to tweet things out while I'm giving a press conference that is
about my press conference?
Or that is contrary to what I'm saying? Okay.
That's got to be one of the most fucking annoying-ass goddamn jobs. Hey, I want you to do this, but I'm going to be super fucking counterproductive the entire time you're doing it, but I expect you to do it well.
Every time. No matter what.
Yeah, I can understand why the guy left.
Yeah, I can too. It's like, dude, do you have any idea how hard you make my job? My job is to literally make the press happy about anything you do and to answer questions about anything you do. And every time I give them the don't worry about it answer, you're like, lol.
See, what Trump doesn't understand is that when someone says, hey, this guy's not actually doing crazy shit, don't worry about it, you should really lay low. Because that means people are up to him, like they know. But he doesn't lay low.
Nope.
He's like, oh, hey, they bought it. Let's keep going.
Yeah, sick.
Nobody fucking bought it.
Can we do it again?
Oh, God, it's
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts a lot.
5.
Hurricane Irma downgraded to Category 2 storm after landfall.
This is submitted by Patrick Capital to our news.
I mean, it's really just a Hurricane Irma update. It smashed into Florida. Florida took it to the face.
Florida's like, whatever.
Something.
We had, other ones.
Something like it's like over 2 million people don't have power now.
Yeah, I've been getting updates from some of my Floridian friends. By some of my Floridian friends, I mean all one of you.
Well, the only person I know 2 people in Florida. One that said nope and left to Georgia, and the other one is my cousin who decided to stay, and I have not heard from them.
See, my friend decided to stay, which I thought was really scary because she just had, twins.
Sure.
So I was like, But,
Luckily, I mean, at this point, I mean, this story, it was downgraded to a Hurricane 2 actually about this time yesterday. The storm is mostly dissipating, but, I mean, now we just have to pick up the pieces from it.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's really what comes down to natural disasters, be it hurricanes, tornadoes, major earthquakes. We can't stop it.
No, you can't.
We can't stop it once it's started. We can try to prevent the next ones, but once it's started, it's kind of unfortunate. I mean, all you can really do is pick up, what's left. Keep moving.
The other problem is, where's Jose right now?
Isn't Mookie in New York?
Yes. Why?
You said Jose.
You're awful. Let's see. I'm trying to get an update of where Jose is right now. Okay, it's actually still pretty far off in the Caribbean. It is
in the Caribbean.
It is expected to hit Florida sometime this week, and is actually going to go straight up in Florida. It's just going to follow Hurricane Irma, it looks like. Joyous.
Oh, I mean, the exact path.
Pretty darn close.
That's insane.
It looks
That's
like
really
it looks like
unfortunate.
it might turn north sooner, so that the actual eye of it never gets around over landfall. So they'll just be buffeted with the side of it.
I feel really bad for all of the people in all the other countries just south of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fucked.
Yeah, they got hit real hard.
God, it's almost as if, the world should put together a fund for these kind of disasters.
By my understanding, there is. It's just empty
Oh, it's really unfortunate.
because nobody has money besides the really rich people that have lots of money.
They don't really want to give that away.
Nope, sure don't.
4,
I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Leah Remini?
Leah Remini,
Remini?
I think.
Okay. Forgives mother for introducing her to Scientology as she accepts Emmy.
This was submitted by Landon Lim. The fuck is that? Landon Limley?
Yeah, sure. Liamle?
I don't know. It's our television.
Land on Limele. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the best I got. Anyway, Leah Remini, who is the who made Scientology and the Aftermath, received an Emmy, and in part of her speech, she said she forgive her mother. You are officially forgiven for getting us into a cult.
I'm really happy that there's people like Leah who are outwardly speaking against the Scientology religion, not just from my point of view where I, had seen Scientology and instantly knew that shit's stupid and no one should be following it, but from the point of view of someone who actually had lived it.
Sure. I mean, especially because it was one of those situations where your parents are what's pushing, the religion onto you.
It baffles me that that's still a religion. Because, there's, L. Ron Hubbard. You can go and read all of his, fake as shit science fiction books. He's got, a deck. I forget the name of it. It's not a trilogy. It's like a decology. It's where it's 12 books.
Don't know.
And just, I guess these guys aren't sitting there thinking, maybe this isn't real.
The thing that it doesn't baffle me that it exists, because there's plenty of crazy people in the world, right? It baffles me that it is as large as it is and has as much money as it does.
And that they don't pay taxes because they're a religion.
Religion.
Oh, God.
Yep, hurts my face. Hurts my face a lot.
I seriously hate how religion is not taxed.
Yeah, I understand. I really do.
Are nonprofit organizations taxed?
Yes.
Then why the fuck?
It makes sense if you don't think about it.
No, it doesn't. Even when I don't think about it, it makes zero fucking sense.
Sorry, friend.
3,
Chaos erupts as live tick on display goes missing in Japanese conference about tick-borne diseases.
This is submitted by J.S. Han to... Oh, wow. That's not The Onion. It's to Our World News.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, when the zombie outbreak is about to take place, the world wants to know.
Right?
So it was an ixodid tick that was on display during a press conference. It was presented to the media as part of a prefectural government's drive to warn people about, quote, severe fever with, science term, thrombocytopenia syndrome, or SFTS, which is transmitted by that specific tick. And it had been brought to display, and it was placed on a white sheet of paper along with another tick that had died after sucking someone's blood. And then in the middle of the shoot, it just disappeared.
Huh.
Yep. And people panicked a lot.
Yeah, I would not want to have the thrombocytopenia syndrome.
Sure, there you go. Good job. Way to be able to read. You're better at it than me.
I don't know about that.
Either way, though,
That's fucking crazy.
it's buried in someone's jacket right now. They carried it out. It's gonna bite them. They're gonna go to sleep, wake up a zombie. Boom. Patient zero's taking place.
I don't think thrombocytopenia is a zombie disorder. I also don't believe that ticks would be the start of the zombie apocalypse.
Dude,
if anything, it would be the water.
It was all a plan Like, it's all planned out. Like, this isn't a force of nature. This is straight up Umbrella style. They put in a tick so that no one would think it'd be in a tick.
If anything, all right? Actually, fuck you. Umbrella was trying to make a goddamn medicine, and they fucked up.
Yeah, I know they did.
And they didn't accidentally put it in a tick and just shoved it onto people.
Yeah, I know, but the world is more malicious than we'd like to think it is.
It's true. There are evil geniuses. I feel like if there was ever a zombie apocalypse, it would be based off of that weird fucking parasite that climbs inside of ants and makes them jump to their death.
Yeah.
Because that started spreading to bigger and bigger things.
Or those weird, like, real skinny worms that'll, like, eat out the inside of a praying mantis and walk around in them.
So, speaking of that, in high school, I had read about that, and I thought that it was going to be I thought it was a good idea to write a book about zombies that are parasites from space that inhabit your spinal cord.
No, I'm good. That sounds real creepy and gross.
The only way to kill them would be to sever the neck. Like, if you blew up their body, their head would still move forward. You have to, like, cut them in half.
That's awful. No.
But I ended up not writing the book. Instead, I wrote several blog pages from the point of view of the characters in the story. So,
like, World War Z style.
Right. What happened was a bunch of people got trapped in Anchorage, and one of the meteorites fell near Anchorage. And the meteorites fell in a bunch of different places, but the reason why people still go to Anchorage is because it's not actually Anchorage. It's like a bit off from Palmer and Wasilla, but as soon as you start going towards Anchorage, you get knocked out and put to sleep by some form of gas, and you wake up, on your plane or in your car in Anchorage, essentially landed or driving there.
So where are these blog posts at?
I don't remember the name of them.
Oh, shame.
2.
Marriott boat refuses to rescue anyone but guests. Leaves with 200 free seats.
This is submitted to by flank other right. No?
Flank to the right.
Flank to the right, yeah, to Our World News. Bleh.
Marriott, like, we're bad PR. Like, this is not the case of any press is good press. This is just bad press.
I don't understand what goes through these companies' heads where, like, Joel Osteen or Marriott or any of them. Like, I don't understand where they get the idea that, oh, hey, we can still profit off of this. Fucking all of those goddamn airline companies that skyrocketed their prices from $300 to $3,000.
Here's the thing. Here's what makes it even worse, okay? So these were on the Caribbean island of St. Thomas, and they were left stranded. They had no food, no water, no power, right? And Marriott had their boats to come pick up people and stuff like that. But apparently Marriott corporate told the people on the boat only pick up people that are guests at our hotels. So that's what they did. Which one, one, strike to you, corporate, and 2, strike to you who work for Marriott that didn't do the humane thing and pick up people. Here's the other part of it, though. They had reportedly 200 free seats available on that ship, right? Mm-hmm. At least. Some reports are saying upwards of 600 open seats on that ship. Guess how many people were on the shore? Give me one guess.
130.
35.
Damn!
This isn't like a mob of people of like, we literally can't take everyone. You will capsize the ship. No, it's 36 people.
This is you condemning people to die if they continue to stay there without food, water, or shelter.
Well, and also, I mean, it's even worse than that because it's like, oh, here comes Jose. We should leave. Like,
yeah, right? It's just like hurricane after hurricane after fucking tropical storm. And you're leaving these people here to try and survive that shit? You guys are fucked up.
Yeah.
You should probably have gone to court for this. This is fucked up.
We'll see. I mean, I don't know. Either way, like, wow.
Yeah, that's so fucking. Oh my god. I really hope that there's some kind of lawsuit, like some kind of Samsung thing going on where the CEOs get fucked because they do something stupid like this. Because, like, it's just so... unnecessary to do shit like that. Everyone should take a fucking page out of Coca-Cola's book and just be humane.
Yeah.
What they don't understand here, right, is if they let these people die, that's more customers that they don't get.
Not to mention this. There is no positive spin you put on this. You're just crappy.
Let me explain how you should have picked those people up in a corporate sense. You pick those people up. Those people see you as a savior. Those people become like dedicated to you almost. They would probably go out of their way to get a Marriott hotel than a regular hotel, even if it pays more.
Probably.
Or if they have to pay more. If they had their lives saved by Marriott.
Like, I don't even know how to...
people are.
And, like, if it was the instance of, like, there are 3,000 people on the shore, we cannot take more than, 1,500 on the boat because the boat is then at risk of, being overweight, sinking, etc. There are limitations to, the craft. And
right, then take all the dying, the homeless, or not the homeless, the dying people, the fucking, the people who need medical aid, the children. But no, instead they were like, nope, let's leave all the men and the women and the children too.
In this case, it was 35 people, literally just 35.
Yeah, they're doing it spots so they could shove them in the fucking corner of the building and forget about or not the building, corner of the boat, and forget about them altogether, and they would have been fine.
Well, in this case, the ship was going to Puerto Rico, which was already free from the path. It was clear. They're like, literally you can get on the boat. You have to stand in this corner. When we get there, you have to get off because of, corporate rules. And they'd be like, that's fine. Thanks for the ride.
Like, oh, thank God you're a savior.
Yeah, thanks for the ride. Not, sorry, you didn't buy a ticket through our hotel, GTFO. Like,
you didn't buy a ticket. You're doomed to die.
Ridiculous.
1.
Equifax hit with $70 billion lawsuit after leaking 143 million Social Security numbers.
This is submitted by Zykium News. What?
It's worse than that. It's so worse than that. So,
oh no!
Equifax's job, the entire principle of their company, is to protect the credit and personal information of the hundreds of millions of Americans that sign up with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
This leak was 143 million Social Security numbers, names, addresses, driver's license data, birth dates, and credit card numbers.
My God. How do you fuck up that badly?
You want to know how? Because all of that information was on a single server that didn't even have a basic firewall. Not even like Windows Defender on it. Nope. Not secured at all. You literally just hook up to it, and the hackers
shove a fucking USB in there.
Yeah, the hackers just went, oh, I found the server, and went, there are 0 protections here. There's not none whatsoever.
How the fuck do you run a goddamn insurance company where you have hundreds upon millions of people's information, not just regular information like where they live, their phone number, but the very, very immensely personal information of things like the Social Security number?
The current belief is that this will just close Equifax. They will no longer exist.
Fuck them.
Because
they just put 143 million people in risk.
Well, and because with their level of negligence and with what happened, it doesn't even need a class action lawsuit. The federal court on their own has the merit to just turn them off, basically.
It's pretty much a criminal matter. Well, I mean, technically it is because, things got stolen.
What makes it even worse is that they have already found the 143 million units of data for sale on the dark web.
Wow.
So it's literally like, boo!
It is in one stick and out the fucking other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm pretty happy Equifax is going down if their fucking security was like this for something so fucking sensitive.
So
there's 0 reason you couldn't have at least AVG free firewall up.
if you were to take the actual law based on offenses and everything like that, so the class action lawsuit is in the amount of 70 billion. If you wanted to break down each individual offense, it could be somewhere in the range of like multiple $1 trillion in offenses.
That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. So,
The fuck?
you done messed up. Goodbye, Equifax. I never used you, and I'm glad for that.
Same, I think.
So, yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, fuck them.
I have nothing. Like, it is unbelievable how negligent you are.
I have something.
What's that?
You guys are bad and you should feel bad.
I'm sure they do.
I did it.
Especially because, except in this case, you want to know the reason why they probably don't feel bad? Because they didn't profit from it.
Yeah, okay.
I'm Mr. Meeseeks! Look at me!
Nathan, what'd you care about in the last 72 hours?
There's a lot of cool shit that happened this weekend.
What's that?
There was like Max and Mix going away party. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Which that chick that we were drinking with added me on Facebook afterwards.
Good luck. What else?
But the thing I think, I'm sorry, I was trying to think back on my weekend. The thing I think I cared about the most was this week's episode of Rick and Morty was fucked up.
I haven't seen it. Of course, I've been watching them in chunks with Jennifer, so.
Oh my god. It was not a side story. It was a very, very main part of their story.
Cool.
Even though it plays off as a side story the entire time.
Don't most Rick and Morty episodes play off as side stories, except for the very few ones that are main stories?
For the most part, yeah.
I mean, normally it's like the first and last episode of each season is like the main story, and then everything else is just extra.
Mm-hmm. The great thing about this episode is
Hang on.
that...
Wait, pause. Avoid spoilers, not for me, but for other people.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
It was voiced entirely by Justin Roiland.
There was no one else?
There was nobody else.
Cool.
So, it was pretty cool.
That is fun.
That entire episode was a fucking goddamn roller coaster. There are moments where I'm laughing my ass off, and then something happens, and I'm like, whoa, bro, that's fucked up. And it happened constantly. And it was very good social commentary on the state of the United States, really.
Well, I will look forward to watching it then.
Yeah.
All right.
And that sweet mermaid puss.
So this was something that was originally like really highly upvoted as a news article, and like the article is meh, but instead I just want to pose it as a discussion topic for you. Does the world really need a new iPhone every year?
Absolutely not.
And let's just amend that to all, like most of the brands, like even Samsung Galaxy, like they got a new phone every year.
I don't feel like they really need... I don't feel like any phone company should really be putting out phones that quickly.
Well, I on a business side, there's two parts of it, and this article is extremely critical of that they believe and are trying to prove that these companies are withholding advancements like new features and stuff so they have something to put in next year's model, right? Mm-hmm. Which there is a comparison that can be made, and in this case it still might be a little bit distant to some people, which is video games, specifically the sports video game franchises. There are proof over there's been absolute proof that Madden specifically, which has a monopoly because of contracting 20 years ago or so.
Well, hey, Blitz the League is a goddamn great fucking football game.
Over the NFL's football video game.
Yeah. I forget they do that.
Yeah. No one else gets to because of contract stuff made with the NFL a long time ago. Anyway, but the problem is everyone's like, man, I don't feel like Madden from one year to another is very different. It's all very small upgrades. And they're like, yeah, we have to do that so we have something new to give you the next year. If we gave you all of our ideas this year, we wouldn't have anything to give you the year after besides the new players. And so people are like, are you doing that with phones, Apple? Samsung? Is that what you're doing?
Probably. I mean, it's fucked up, but that's how you make money.
That's how you sell, set new records for phone sales every year.
Every fucking year. Even though I feel like some of those phones really shouldn't have broke records, like the one without the audio port.
Oh, you mean mine?
Yeah.
Although, like, I have Bluetooth headphones, so the missing audio port didn't bother me too much. The real reason I wanted this was for the cameras. It's got those real sick dual cameras on the back, and I like them a lot. Now, I do wish it had an audio jack, but I'm over it.
I don't take enough pictures to really care.
I do, actually. I've realized that I take a lot of photos.
See, all of the pictures on my phone are either memes or porn.
Sure, makes sense. So, I guess there's not much past that. It was just the intriguing part of that whole concept. And, like, I think part of it is, one, because they can and they make a lot of money from it, and two, it keeps investors happy, which is important.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'll give them the better side of it, and also of that some of those new features involve really new technology, and it might be trying to figure out how to get it cheap enough for people to buy. I mean, because almost all phones now are $600 to $900.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I miss those $50 fucking flip phones.
Well, and the other side of that is people are like, oh, it's all profit. And it's like, well, we've broken it down, and it's not. I mean, there's a good bit of it that's profit, but it's also profit split between manufacturers, the company, the distributors, the people that, shipped it, the people that sold it. Like, all of those people have
the people who made the parts for it.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, the actual, like, the parts at their core, just for the parts for most of the phones, are around, like, $250.
Right. Which is still crazy when you think about it, because, like, a lot of things really don't cost that much to make.
Do you want to know what the most expensive part of your phone is? The glass.
Oh, I bet.
It's the glass touch screen.
Oh, fuck. Brendan just bought a new phone, and it's got Gorilla Glass on it. That shit's amazing.
Which one is it? Do you know?
I forget the name of it. I think it's not a Samsung phone, but it's not an iPhone. It doesn't have the audio port, and there's a Kickstarter for it because it lets you make your own mods for it and customize your own phone immensely.
The glass on the newest Samsung Galaxy is awesome.
Go on.
It is ridiculously incredible. Now, like, I don't know about, like, how strong or anything it is, but, like, one of the things that bugs me and has always bugged me about these touchscreen phones is that my family in their entirety are pretty oily people. So it ends up being a decent amount of oil on my screen. And while it's not...
Oh, it's this Moto phone. I'm sorry. It's called the Moto Z.
Okay. And while the oil isn't necessarily the biggest deal, the problem that I have is that little bit of oil with my finger makes it to where my finger doesn't slide on the glass as well. I can feel the friction pulling on my finger because of the way that it builds up, and, like, with the mixture of, everything else, it's you get that little bit of tension when you're, using the phone, and I hate it. I constantly am cleaning my phone so it doesn't do that. I don't know what coating they have or what the glass is made out of or whatever on the new Samsung Galaxy. Never happens. Like, the glass alone makes me want to switch from my iPhone to a Galaxy.
I'm going to send you this link for the Moto Z because it looks really cool, and there are mods already for it. Okay, so the Moto Z has, like, fucking little magnets on the bottom, on the back, so that you can clip things onto it.
Cool.
So you can get power packs that you put onto it, or you can get fucking projectors that you can jam onto it. But they purposely made it this way so that you can buy kits that let you design your own mod for your own phone.
Oh, that's neat. See where it goes. Hopefully it does well. Always welcome more competition in the field. Part of me, like, I've only had this phone like a year, so part of me is also hoping that because I will pay this phone off before I get a new one, because I'm on that, everyone's on that plan now where you're like, pay $20 a month, and then, if you want, after a year, you can give it back to us and we'll give you another one, or you can spend 2 years and pay it off and keep it. So I normally like to pay my phone off. That way, if anything happens to whatever phone I replace it, I have the backup.
Sure.
So
makes sense.
means I probably won't get a new phone until late next year, which is
I
fine.
usually have a burner phone for that reason.
I just like to keep a nice backup phone because I don't like burner phones. Anyway, so I'm hoping that either the iPhone that is supposed to be released tomorrow or next year's iPhone will have that newer screen. Mostly because I actually like iPhones a lot because they're simple and their functionality is great. Also, I've spent way too much. It's not way too much. I regret none of the purchases, but I have a lot of music in iTunes, and you can get them onto an Android phone, but damn, is it complicated.
So Janelle in the chat says that the Samsungs have OLED screens.
Yep.
I don't know what that means, but just wanted people to know.
By my understanding, with what Josh was talking about, it's a different type of glass, and the actual like screen that you see is fused to the glass. It's all one piece, which is why it's so cool. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll just have to play it by ear and see what happens in the future when it comes to phones.
Real fucking neato.
Yeah, it is. You ready to get out of here?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, everybody, the first thing that I would ask is you go to patreon.com/dailyinternet. If you are not aware, we hit $100 thanks to Josh pumping it up for my birthday. Thank you very much, Joshua Swan. We appreciate you with the greatness. Which means that we broke $100 a month, which does mean that I have to do a terrible white boy rap. We have my ghostwriter, Michael Whiting, the other white Mike. He has been on this show before. He is working on writing me the worst rap that he possibly can. And when we say
just the normal rap for him.
Yeah, just the normal. But I mean, when we're talking like white boy stuff. Like he's going to rhyme there, and there.
Good thing shit rhymes with shit. Otherwise, rapping would be hard.
Yeah, right. No kidding. Beyond that, though, if we do hit $150 a month, Nathan's going to shave that luxurious beard on his face. $200 a month will fix that picture behind Nathan if you do see the video. And at $250 a month is one big giant thank you, because it will mean that this show is 100% fully funded no matter what happens. That will allow us to, it won't keep the lights on, but it'll keep the internet on and pay all of the expenses that the show has, hosting fees, streaming, etc.
I mean, shit, eventually that'd be super cool if we could buy our own studio.
That would be sick. Make it happen. Patreon.com/dailyinternet. Otherwise, please share and follow us on social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. All those are at iReaditCast. If you can't catch the live show at 6 p.m. on Facebook, you can always download on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or find us on YouTube if you want the VODs, and they're also always available on Facebook as well. Otherwise, of course, you can follow me at Sean Michael and Nathan at Bimmenstein. If you got a story you want us to talk about, or you just need to just tell us something, you can either do so in the comments wherever you're at, or of course you can call and leave us a voicemail 508-738-2278, or leave us an email, which is feedback.ireadit@gmail.com. That is it, everybody. That is your 347th dose of the internet. I'm Michael Schwan.
And I'm Nathan Wood.
And please remember, everybody,
Don't get eliminated!
have a good day, everyone.
Bye.